So welcome back, historical days. This day we are talking about, again about 19th century. In 19th century, mostly Western Europe and United States. So I just was on my mind, I read about this, like fair practices. Like there was Theodore Roosevelt, he wasn't like simply going along with this liberal doctrine. He was thinking a lot about it, and he also introduced all those things that made life of working man better, like when there was a rebel of working man class. He was like as a judge, he stepped in as a judge and solved those issues between the working people and the huge owners of factories. That was his like wisdom in ruling. Then in 19th century there also was the Monroe Doctrine. It was like the James Monroe, if I'm not mistaken, the president of the United States. He get this document to the Congress, in which there was written about this, how America works on its external politics, like how does it go about that kind of stuff. And it was that the main like goal of this document, the main like idea was that Americas for Americans and Europeans should not intervene, and any intervention from European countries to the lives of both North and Southern Americas, it will be like violation against the law of the United States. It was that kind of vibe, this document. And there also was this, yeah, that was it, like this document. It's in 1828, if I'm not mistaken. That was this doctrine. In England, on the other hand, there was this Chartism movement. Chartism. It was about those strikes that was the workers was demanding rights, I think, yes, if I'm not mistaken, of course. And it was like, we see this, and that Chartism, it was for decades, it was quite a long movement. And we see like, and back to the United States. In the United States, as we can see, in this 19th century, there was like, it was centuries, this present day democracy was basically was shaped partly, not entirely, of course. And there was like plenty of monopolies. There was like all those industrialists who was first like small business owners, and then they grow richer, and they created these corporations, big trusts, and they sort of limited freedom to other participants in the market. So there was this kind of thing in United States. And I didn't mention when the Theodore Roosevelt was ruling. He was ruling like at the end of 19th century and at the beginning of 20th century. And we know that Roosevelt, there was two Roosevelts in like American history. First is this one that we talked about, Theodore Roosevelt, and there was another one. Another one was at 30s. It was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who also was really, his contribution was great. Like he made this New Deal policies. But now our main focus in 19th century. So that was like it. We talked about the Chartism, we talked about the Theodore Roosevelt, we talked about other things, and also Theodore Roosevelt, he also increased like territories of those like preservation parks, where because even there like Americans at the end of the 19th century, Americans understood that the natural resources aren't unlimited, they are limited, they have like its end point, and he increased in 5 times more, gave lands to those preservation parks.